Keanu Reeves, Canadian actor. I loved the role of John Wick. I loved the action. I loved all the new characters. The world expands into the underworld. It's getting bigger. Yeah, it was a really great experience in John Wick 2. You want to play another kind of character in another genre, and it's been something I've been trying to do if I can in the career so far, and it's something I hope to continue because it's interesting to me and you get to do different things as an actor. There's a lot of great writing, and characters, and stories being told in television nowadays. And much more than there used to be. The opportunities to tell stories, because of the opportunities to show content. And so it's drawing actors from cinema, movie actors to where there's a lot of opportunities to where you can tell stories. When I work on a film, you know, I try to get or inhabit the body of the character from the vision of the directors or how I think the character should be. So if it's a film like Speed, you hit the gym, you get to do some, train with SWAT people, but in general, I'm really focused and dedicated, and then in regular life, I don't go to the gym as often. The inspiration really comes first from the character and the story. That vision of what the story is, and what the character is, the world that they inhabit and what the story wants to tell. That's really what inspires me. I really took it in-house. The Constantine character has a kind of flesh and blood practical look at things that would seem, other people would use the word, occult or spiritual. But here, demons are real. So for me it was more taking it from the film itself. I didn't really need to go outside the piece itself to inform me because the perspective on it, what the character does, was provided by the script. It's hard to act in the morning. The muse isn't even awake. I'm not a photographer, so I didn't get into f-stops or ND filters or background, foreground, cross-light, all that stuff. But I was interested in the camera and the lenses. That's the world that I'm moving in terms of acting and giving a performance. The acting experience and the collaborating and creating the world, working on the piece, they're the same joys. Violence within the context of policing has a sense of control and power to it, whether it is dominance, getting what you want, or acting out of emotion. At the same time, it is not ultimately satisfying and you are trapped in the cycle. Sometimes, with the scale of a film, it's like when I walked on the sets of The Matrix, especially in Reloaded, there was the city square, or in Revolutions with some of the machine world, you're like, wow, this is a big playground, which is fun to watch. But the acting experience and the collaborating and creating the world, working on the piece, they're the same joys. One of the aspects I like about the film is that there is a kind of emotional, psychological discussion during the storytelling. Before taking a drug, go through yourself, experience yourself, all your hopes and fears in your own time. Before the pharmacology, do the psychology. When we talk about how movies used to be made, it was over 100 years of film, literal, physical film, with emulsion, that we would expose to light and we would get pictures. The whole aspect of cinema and film festivals should be a moment to come together and celebrate art and humanity. It would be a shame if there was such a divide. Sometimes when you make a film you can go away for 3 months and then come back and live your life. But this struck a much deeper chord. I don't have the ability yet to speak about it in an objective, There's a film there in competition of Sundance Film Festival called To the Bone. It's directed by Marty Noxon. I have a supporting role in it. It got really well received. It's a really great film. The truth is often terrifying, which I think is one of the motifs of Larry and Andrew's cinema. The cost of knowledge is an important theme. In the second and third films, they explore the consequences of Neo's choice to know the truth. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. I did do some things different in John Wick 2, but it's different on basically the same things. Because I have the background from the first film, it was really the first time I was doing judo and jujitsu. For the gun work, I had more of the basic training from the previous movie John Wick and the weapon work I have done in the past. In the second movie John Wick 2, it really went on into another level. I've done the 3-gun training, where you worked with the pistol, rifle, and shotgun. So that all is in the film. Artists are losing the choice to use film. People have a love for it, the grain, how it feels, the texture. I hope I don't become just an animation with a digital film. I loved the material when I first read it, and the experience of making the film was a great one. So when we came around to complete the trilogy, I just signed on board without even reading the scripts because the experience of the first film was so good. When I work on a film, I try to get or inhabit the body of the character from the vision of the directors or how I think the character should be. So if it's a film like Speed, you hit the gym, you get to do some, train with SWAT people, but in general, I'm really focused and dedicated, and then in regular life, I don't go to the gym as often. I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia. But the choice, losing the choice to be able to use film is going to be, it's gone. It's going to be gone. I've been really fortunate to be able to do different kinds of films in different scales, different genres, different kinds of roles, and that is important to me.